Hello everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Destiny deck video. Today I built a quick Count Dooku and Kylo Ren deck. So we're just going to run through the deck really quickly and describe what the deck does and describe the cards in the deck. So obviously it's Dooku and Kylo Ren. So we're playing on the Emperor's Throne Room from the second Death Star. When you claim it, turn one of your dice to a side showing a special, then you may resolve that die. So if you roll really badly on one of your blue upgrades, you can claim the battlefield and then use the special on that die. And we're running a ton of blue upgrades that have specials, so we'll get to those in a second. And then our characters, we're running 2 Count Dooku, Devious Strategist for 15 points. He has 10 health. He has 1 melee, 2 melee, 1 focus, 2 discard for the cost of 1 resource, 1 resource and a blank, and before the character is dealt 1 or more damage, you can discard a card from your hand to give him 1 shield. So if you need him to survive a little bit longer, you can discard a card and then get a shield out of it. And also, we're also running 2 Kylo Ren for 13 points, so our total is 28. So Kylo Ren, Vader's Disciple, 1 melee, 2 melee at the cost of a resource, 1 shield, 1 resource, 1 special, and a blank. And his special is choose an opponent's character and look at a random card in that opponent's hand and deal damage to that character equal to the cost on the card you just looked at. So you get to look at a card for one, so you can see maybe what they're going to play next or what they're trying to do, and then you also deal damage based on the cost of the card. So if you look at a card that costs 2, that character takes 2 damage, and so on. They can take 0 damage if you look at something like a, let's say like a take cover, which has 0 resource cost, but you also got to see the card, so you still are getting to look at their hand a little bit. We move into our upgrades. We have 1 force choke. 1 force choke. I would have 2, but I only have 1 force choke in my collection currently. So force choke costs 2, blue character only. 2 disrupt, 1 discard, 1 resource, 2 specials on the blank. And the special is deal 1 unblockable damage to another character. Then you may turn one of its character or upgrade dice to any side. So you could do this on your opponent and have them take 1 damage and then turn their side to like a blank or something like that. You could also do it to one of your own characters because it doesn't specify that you can't do it to your own characters. So you can, if I'm using this on Kylo Ren, I can deal 1 damage to Dooku and turn one of Dooku's dice to a more beneficial side than it's already on. So that's Force Choke. We have 2 Force Throw, cost 3. This is neutral, so you can go in either villain or hero decks. Has 1 range damage, 1 disrupt, 2 specials in the blank. Again, blue character only. Special, remove a die to deal a character damage equal to the value showing on that die. Specials and blanks are zeros. Again, Force Throw, one of the best cards in the game. You can get rid of specials with this, so trigger your special to throw an opponent's special back at them. It won't do any damage, but then they won't be able to use that special. If you throw a die that had, let's say you have some modified range damage and no unmodified damage, you can get rid of your own die to hit a character for whatever the value on that modified side is. You can do it to your opponent's dice as well. So if they have something saying like 3 melee, you can use a special on this to get rid of their 3 melee die and deal 3 damage to a character. So then we have 2 force training. Cost 2, it's also neutral. 1 range damage, plus 2 melee damage, 1 focus, 1 resource, a special, and a blank. You get to spot a blue character. So the only characters we're running are blue, so if both my characters are dead, I would have lost anyway. But spot a blue character, and the special is choose and do 2 of the following: deal 1 damage to a character, gain a resource, or give a character a shield. So you get to choose 2 of those options. So if you only need to do 1 more damage, you can just do 1 more damage with this. Your character shield, or if you need resources, you can get resources. And again, you get to choose 2 of those options. You can't choose the same option twice, but you get your choice of 2 out of those 3 options. You have 2 Immobilize, cost 2. And it has 1 Disrupt, 1 shield, 2 shield, 1 resource, and a blank. So some good shields on this to keep your characters like shielded up. Also, blue character only. And the action is you can remove this die to turn a die to a side showing a blank. So if your opponent has something good showing, you can remove it to turn their dice to a blank side. We have 2 Kylo Ren Lightsabers, cost 3. Has 3 melee for the cost of 1 resource, plus 2 melee, plus 3 melee, a shield, a special, and a blank. Blue characters only. And the special is deal 2 damage to a character. If any of the damage is blocked by shield, re-roll this die instead of removing it from your pool. So if a character has 1 shield, you can still deal 1 damage, knock off 1 shield, deal 1 damage to the character, and since some of the damage was blocked by shields, you get a re-roll the die. So this thing can just destroy shields, and if you take off any shields with this special, you get a re-roll that die as well, which is really nice. So we're running 2 of those. You can only have 1 out at a time, but we have 2 to um, possibly have a better chance at drawing it. And if we have both in our hand, we could also just discard 1 to reroll sometimes. We also have 2 normal lightsabers, cost 3, 3 melee for the cost of a resource, plus 2 melee, a shield, a resource, a special, and a blank. It also has redeploy, so if you put it on one character and that character is defeated, you can move it to your other character. And special is deal 2 unblockable damage to a character. Pretty good. We have 2 Mind Probe, cost 4. This is the most expensive card in the deck, so cost 4 has 3 range damage at the cost of a resource, 2 disrupt, 2 discard, 2 specials and the blank. Again, blue characters only. Special is deal an opponent's character damage, or 1 damage for each card in that opponent's hand. So if they have 5 cards in their hand, they take 5 damage, 4 cards they take 4 damage, and so on. And finally, we have 2 Sith Holocron. I think you guys knew this card was coming. So, 2 Sith Holocron, cost 0, has 1 focus, plus 1 resource, 2 specials, 2 blanks. And the special is switch this upgrade with a blue ability upgrade in your hand, ignoring play restrictions. Then you may spend 1 resource to roll its die into your pool if able. So this special will allow you to get your blue upgrades out essentially for free. So Mind Probe, if you special on this, you can put Mind Probe on the character that the holocron's attached to, and then you take the holocron back into your hand. And has a couple other good sides, so you could also focus with it and things like that. But you're going to use this to get the special out. This also works with the throne room, so if you roll this out and you don't roll it on the special, you can later claim the throne room, turn a holocron to a special side, and use its ability. You probably don't want to spend the resource if you're doing that with the throne room, because after you claim, you're not going to be able to resolve that die anyway. So you're just going to play the upgrade, switch it out, and then it'll be the end of the round for you, and your opponent can do whatever they need to do. But then the next round, you'll have access to that blue die as well that you just switched out. To our supports, we only have 1. We have 1, it binds all things. It's neutral, uncommon as well, but cost 1. And before you play a blue upgrade, you may exhaust this support to decrease its cost by 1. So you can basically just exhaust it, and every blue upgrade you have, which all my upgrades are blue, are going to cost 1 less once you play them. Not permanently, but just with 1 use of this support. To our events, we have 2 Abandon All Hope, cost 2. Force an opponent to choose to either lose all their resources or discard their hand. So I love using this in blue villain decks. It's kind of a staple in all my blue decks that have villains. Just love being able to force them to either get rid of all their resources or lose their hand. And if they're saving up their resources for something big, they're going to either have to lose the big card that they want to play or lose the resources needed to pay for it. We have 1 block, just cost 2. Remove all of an opponent's die showing melee damage. All of our dice showing melee get removed. We have 2 Deflect, just cost 1. Spot a blue character to remove a die showing range damage and deal half of that damage rounded up to a character. So if somebody has a 2 range damage die showing, you can play Deflect, remove that die, and deal 1 damage to the character that it was, and do 1 damage to that character. We have 1 dodge as well, cost 2. Remove all of an opponent's dice showing range damage, so block and dodge just in there to remove dice that could potentially do a lot of damage to the characters. We have 2 Feel Your Anger, cost 1. Count the number of blanks showing on an opponent's dice, then remove that many of their dice. So if they have 4 dice, let's say 2 blanks, you count 2 blanks and remove the 2 dice that aren't blanks. We have 2 Intimidate, cost 0. Remove all shields from a character. So if you're playing against something like a Han deck or a Qui-Gon deck, you can use Intimidate to get rid of all their shields. Especially works well with Qui-Gon decks because if you take away all his shields, you're going to be able to kind of minimize the effect that his ability will have on you, where he gets to remove his shield to do damage. We have 2 Isolation, cost 1. Spot a blue character to remove a character die. Pretty simple, just spot the character and remove one of your opponent's character dice. And we have 2 Mind Trick. Neutral, cost 2. Spot a blue character to force an opponent to split their dice pool into 2 groups of any size, and then you choose one group and remove all the dice in it. So forces them to kind of split their dice, and then you basically will just remove whichever smaller pool is more damaging. So that is Elite Qui-Gon, or not Qui-Gon, Elite Dooku and Elite Kylo Ren. I just put the deck together today. I tested it against a couple of my other decks, and it was pretty fun. Won a couple games of it. I mean, against myself, of course. I haven't actually brought it to any events yet, but I'm probably going to bring it to some events probably within the next week or two. But that's going to do it for this video. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. The deck list will be in the description. And we'll see you next time. Thanks again for watching.